I have known the Putnam family for a very, very long time. There are just so many things that we could all learn from them. Just this selfless commitment to agriculture, to being involved, to developing young leaders, the passion that they show. Not a selfish bone in that family's body.
I grew up as an Air Force brat, second generation. So I moved about 10 times. I went to 10 different schools growing up. And then I came to University of Florida and fell in love with UF. Gainesville has become a place that I consider my hometown because I don't really have a hometown. I was in the College of Education. I was very involved on campus. I was president of CAIO, my sorority, and met Adam in student government.
I consider myself an IFAS baby. It's just that simple. Grew up in a citrus and cattle family in Polk County. Joined 4-H as soon as I was old enough to be allowed to. Spent 10 years in 4-H. It's had a profound impact on my life.
I honestly remember judging him in a youth speech contest when he was a young 4-H'er, and somebody said, okay, we know that Adam Putnam's the winner. Let's talk about who's 2 and 3. That's just how special he was very early.
I was a food and resource economics major here at the University of Florida and loved every minute of it. Come see the man you fell in love with. I rushed and found my home at Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity, a remarkable group of men, most of whom will pursue a profession in some agriculture-related industry. Without a doubt, 4-H and AGR and campus activities here at the University of Florida had certainly instilled in me an interest in public service, an interest in being involved and giving back to my community, giving back to my state. Not terribly long after I graduated, I sort of started putting the wheels in motion to run for a Florida House seat in the legislature.
If you knew Adam, it sounds weirder to say that he was 21 and he decided to run for the state house than it was when you were on the ground and it was happening. It was like, oh, did you hear Adam Putnam's running for the legislature? Like, oh, that makes sense. Of course he is. And then they had an attack ad on him that said he wanted to go from the frat house to the state house, and they used his 10th grade yearbook picture. So. He looked very young, but not,
harsh.
Not as young as he looked in 10th grade.
Politics were nasty then.
Commissioner Putnam was elected to the Florida House of Representatives. He served 2 two-year terms, and I can remember the speech he gave on the floor of the Florida House when he was a 22, 23-year-old. And it's one of the best speeches I've ever heard.
And from there, I ran for an open seat in the Congress and spent a decade in Washington. I was the youngest member of Congress at the time and the youngest ever from Florida. I credit the relationships that I had made through IFAS.
I would not be here but for 4-H.
To thinking there's a place for young people in public service.
I'm here with Congressman Adam Putnam, who is the Republican candidate for Agriculture Commissioner. Thank you.
I had made the decision to leave Washington and come back to my state, and ultimately was really, really blessed to serve as Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture. As Commissioner of Ag, I've looked for ways to help support IFAS, and we partnered with CALS, and it became the Florida Youth Institute, which is just a remarkable program to identify talent of future students to IFAS, but also to teach a whole generation of high school students about the essential nature of agriculture in our world.
Commissioner Putnam, he could clearly see the benefit of developing young leaders in agriculture. It probably is on the short list of things that have made the biggest impact on our industry.
Very nice.
I quickly gained a lot of respect for Melissa because very few folks would be as supportive of someone who is in the public eye. She understands the issues we were dealing with. She was quick to give her input, which we always valued. She's a force in her own right.
Both my degrees are in elementary ed, And I taught kindergarten for a few years, and I also worked for a Florida senator who did a lot of education legislation. When he was elected to Congress, we had 4 kids in 5 years, so I did not continue to teach because I had my own school basically at home. As my own kids grew up, I actually got a graduate certificate in college and career counseling, and I was fortunate to be able to do my internship at CALS. I just passionate about helping kids find their way. When Adam was getting out of the ag commissioner role, we were kind of looking at what is he going to do next. And I kept asking him, what do you want to do? And I thought that he should do a job where he would still be working on issues he's passionate about.
Juvenile great blue heron.
Being in a role where he still felt like he was making a difference. Let's see if we can find a way to make that happen.
In 2019, I had the opportunity to earn the position of CEO at Ducks Unlimited, the world's largest wetland and waterfowl conservation organization.
Commissioner Putnam is just an incredible leader. You put a leader like him in it, who has the ability to share that vision and then bring people along with him. It's the perfect organization for him. And boy, they are lucky to have him.
The opportunity to study here on campus in the College of Agriculture have made me who I am and shaped my view of the world. CALS has been such an ever-present part of my life for all of my life. It's embedded in who I am. Experiences that I've had, lessons that I've learned the hard way, lessons that I've learned the right way, what it has instilled in me in terms of giving back. Whatever we can do to support all the ways that IFAS touches young people's lives, it's essential.
CALS and IFAS are the best thing that UF has. I just want to support CALS any way I can, and I want to make sure that it's available to as many students as possible. So CALS is family to me, and I think that we're so fortunate that it's family to both of us, and it's kind of the nexus of our relationship. All 4 of our kids have now come here, and it's really thrilling to be able to share it with our kids.
What made IFAS special a generation ago is still alive and well, and maybe even stronger than ever before. It is unique and special and absolutely worth protecting that culture within IFAS that makes it stand out in the University of Florida.